Welcome, everybody, to the Hour of Power show. Let's start this off as we always do by chugging a beer.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I remember my first beer.
Oh, gosh, I know. It felt like my first beer. It's one of those where it was one of those too cold beers. I should have left it out for a little while.
Ah, wonderful.
A minute already?
No, that we just started the clock. We didn't want to
Excellent.
start the minute before we started. So, anyways, welcome to the Hour of Power. I am Mike.
And I am Matt, and we're going to be with you for the next hour having some great drinks. We're going to be talking about some sports. The Super Bowl is coming up. We're going to be talking about hot girls and other random things. And just so you can get your vote in, the hot girl off tonight is Adrienne Policki against Laura Prepon. So send your emails in to hourofpowershow@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and anywhere else. We're on Twitter, Hour of Power, and we're all kinds of places.
Yes. And I want to make one mention before we start the show. Don't discredit the show's legitimacy just because my co-host here is wearing Numa Numa headphones.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, I find that it helps make the sound a little bit better if I actually use a microphone. So, yeah, I'm gonna look pretty lame. Just throwing that out there. Maybe we need to get you some headphones, and you can look lame.
I have some just like that came with my webcam, but they're at work, unfortunately.
Nice. Very nice. So, we're excited to get started. We hope that you are too. We hope that you grab a beer and join us. And I just have to say that from what you told me today, from what iTunes says, if we got 20 people to either download or at least look at our show, that's like pretty much more than anyone else has ever done.
That is true. That's like 6 weeks worth of viewers combined. So,
I know. Look at us. We're moving up in the world. 20 people this week. Who knows next week? So if you're listening and you know, make sure to tell a friend. They can download too.
Was that
you don't have to listen the whole hour. If you like the nonsense, then start at about 30 minutes. And if you like the sports, start at the beginning.
That's true. We get drunk by about minute 40, so after that it's just complete gibberish. But we still have fun. Speaking of gibberish and fun, Matthew, it looks like Star Wars got a new director this week. J.J. Abrams has been announced as the director of the forthcoming Episode 7. As a big Star Trek, Star Wars nerd of all nerds, tell us how you feel about that.
I will. I was surprised when I heard this news because he came out in a few articles before saying how he wasn't going to do it. He was a big Star Wars fan growing up, and he said he would prefer to be in the audience not knowing what happened than to be involved in the entire process. So he wasn't going to do it. Plus, he's also doing Star Trek right now. So he's kind of busy, but I think he's a great one to do it.
He is.
I think he's very good with stories. He does a lot of character kind of driven stuff. He's good with twists. I mean, that's kind of what he's known for. I mean, almost as much as M. Night Shyamalan. You know, he always throws in some nice twists into his story. And I mean, one of the first big twists in a movie was probably Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's father. I mean, we take that for granted nowadays because everyone knows that. But at that point, nobody knew. So
I mean, you're like 4 hours into a series when all of a sudden it comes out. It was like the twist of all twists.
I agree, and he is very good with twists, very good with characters. His movies look very good, and R2-D2 was already in the Star Trek movie, so it all just works out well.
Yeah, that's true. He does a great job of integrating not only like big picture stuff, like, you know, the TIE fighters and stuff, but also character development.
Yes, I totally agree. So I am excited, except the thing is that he was waiting to do like the next Star Trek movie because he wanted to do some, you know, some smaller budget things, you know, some of his own personal stuff.
Right.
But now the Star Wars thing comes out, so apparently either Star Trek's going to be put on hold, the next one, or it's going to be, he's not going to get to do any of his own stuff for a little while, which is fine. I mean, God, you're going to force Disney to pay you millions of dollars to direct a movie?
Yeah,
you're going to force Paramount to pay you to direct Star Wars? I mean, come on.
Disney came at him with like a blank check and just said, please, for the love of God, do this. Joss Whedon said, no, we need you.
Here's what I hope. And you know that this is crawling my side a lot. Whatever. I hope that they don't take it and turn it dark. I hope they don't do the Batman Begin treatment on it.
Yeah, no, they need to stay with the same feel of the whole, both trilogies, I guess, even though the second one, nobody's really a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they do need to keep Star Wars Star Wars. They can't revamp it or anything. This isn't a redo. This is
continuation.
Yes.
And they need to make it much more Avengers than Dark Knight, if you understand what I'm saying. I mean, Avengers was action-packed, but it had a lot of humor in there. It was bright. It was a lot of stuff to look at. It was a good movie, character-driven.
Very aesthetically pleasing, which Star Wars is. All right, so hopefully you've gotten off with your nerdness.
Oh, yeah, I've gotten off. Don't worry about that.
Of course you have. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to sports headlines, just because we spend a lot of time getting our nerd on.
Indeed. We'll start with the first one at the Farmers Tournament. Tiger Woods is 7 under right now, and he leads the whole event.
He does. Dwight Howard says the negativity around the Lakers must stop. No shit, Dwight, but then again, you're causing most of it, so look in the mirror.
Oh, way to go, Lakers. This is just what you were asking for. You wanted Howard there so badly.
Even though he was a cancer on the Magic last year, they still had to have him.
Oh, of course, of course. We have Micah Ruzioni from the Miracle on Ice, the 1980s Olympic fame.
Do you believe in miracles?
Exactly. He's going to be selling his jersey and his stick from that.
So retired Olympic hockey players don't get paid too much, I take it.
Well, if you read into the story, he says that he wants to create a nice little nest egg for his kids and his grandkids. So take from that what you will.
Point.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Jets GM said Revis reacted well to their conversation after the Jets put it out there that they would look into trading him. He responded yesterday, of course, by saying that he was speechless by the whole thing, but apparently after talking with the new GM, things are quote-unquote going smooth. And by quote-unquote, I mean, I don't know if they said that. I'm just...
Who knows? I think they should trade him. I mean, I really do. Think about some of the best cornerbacks in the league this year. It's people like Nnamdi Asomugha, Revis, the guy in Denver who's I can't believe we can't. But yeah, Bailey. And where are they right now? They're all sitting at home. And I know cornerbacks are important to a team, but I think a lot of teams nowadays are proving that the line play is much more important than the defensive backs. And the Jets need help everywhere.
Yes, they do. And he would return like the biggest return of anybody on the roster, and basically anybody shy of Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, or Calvin Johnson. The NFL players voted him the fifth best player in the league 2 years ago before he hurt his knee. That's how how highly he's looked upon by the rest of the league.
Yeah.
All right.
Good player. He'll land on his feet somewhere, and the Jets need so much right now that I just hope that they're able to use that money on other places. So hopefully he goes to maybe a Dallas, and he would probably do great down there.
Europe.
Oh, okay. UCLA will probe Muhammad Gucci's backpack.
Ooh.
I don't know what they're probing it for, but, poor guy.
They just like sticking things up asses, even if
who doesn't?
Yes. They're probably investigating where he got it from, looking into illegal benefits, that whole thing.
Oh, yes.
All right. The DA will not file charges against Niners Michael Crabtree, who of course was accused of rape after beating Green Bay that Sunday night. He was accused of rape in a hotel room, but apparently that will not go to court. So good news for him. There goes all the hide your children, hide your friends, hide your brother, hide your sister. They're raping everybody out here. Jokes. That's Michael Crabtree.
It's true. It's true. Paradis wins second gold medal and dominates street in final. I believe that would be at the X Games right now.
Yes.
So there you go.
Snowboard Street. Didn't know there's such a thing. All right. Dana White said that Silva is to fight GSP, who is Georgia St. Pierre, excuse me, Jones before retiring. John Jones, who is one of the higher ranked fighters in the UFC.
So he has to fight both those people before he retires?
Yeah, apparently he already agreed to it. Maybe it was a way of cashing out before, he gets CTE upon retirement. Who knows? Is that too soon for a CTE joke? I'm not sure on those boundaries.
The betting world is hoping Kaepernick is Super Bowl. I actually read part of that one. And basically, so at the Super Bowl, they always have those prop bets. And a lot of them are about Colin Kaepernick this year. Being a Nevada guy when he was in school, he has got a lot of action down there. What is he going to throw first, a touchdown or an interception? How many yards? All these prop bets are all on Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl.
That's true. They're saying that he's bringing in about 40 times the normal prop bets. And they expect him to be bringing in approximately about $500,000 worth of prop bets during the Super Bowl. And they said on average a good prop brings in about $2,500. So he is lighting up the casinos in some form or fashion. And by the way, that whole Kaepernicking thing, stupid. I'm just throwing it out there. That's dumb.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, Dr. Phil to interview alleged hoaxer Tuiasosopo. That is Renaya, or however you pronounce his Hawaiian name, Tuiasosopo, the hoaxer from the Monte Teo story, which we will be talking about later.
Here's my question. Here's my question to ESPN and everyone else who talks about this story. Well, no, just ESPN. Here's my question. I understand completely when they talk about steroids all day long. Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, whoever it is, admits to steroids, and they talk about it nonstop. Colin Cowherd does a great job of describing that. He says, at that point, they are the Weather Channel, and the big storm just hit. So they have to cover it from beginning to end as much as they can get in there because that's the only time people are watching. Same thing with the steroids. A lot of people who may not watch ESPN all the time will tune in to hear about it, and they don't want to hear about everything else. So that I don't like, but I get. I mean, they're in the money business. They want to get eyes on the TV. But Manti Te'o is not a big storm. This is one of the stupidest things that the story is still continuing. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's a story. And I think it's pretty stupid, and I think it lessens ESPN and all of the other networks that are carrying it.
You want to know why this is a big story? Because it has more turns than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I mean, you do not know what's going on here. I mean, just in the last 2 days, they said, oh, Tuiasosopo, he faked the girl's voice, and he was really the one talking on the phone and convinced Teo that it was a girl. And then today, a girl came out and said, no. Or actually, sorry, it was the family member of the girl said, no. It was Tuiasosopo's cousin Tino that did it. And they had audio experts say, oh, no, that's definitely a girl's voice, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, this thing is just like left, right, fork in the road. Who knows where they're going? It's ridiculous.
But who cares?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he wasn't a Heisman finalist, would anybody care? Probably not. If he was a BSU player, they'd been like, holy shit, those boys in Idaho do all sorts of fucked up shit.
But yeah, that's it. Who cares? And honestly, this is supposed to be ESPN, not TMZ. Even if there was a story like that, that's not the kind of thing that they should be covering with this much depth. And I'm sorry, I feel bad because most of the time I only complain about them when they are talking about, they have their East Coast bias. But here, I'm really upset about how much coverage this stupid story is getting.
Plus, they broke their covenant to never type the words Dr. Phil ever on their website. So they should feel really bad about that one.
I know. Because honestly, I didn't watch SportsCenter this morning, but I heard about the whole Tuiaso Sofo's voice was supposed to be the girl's voice, and someone brought on voice analyst experts to say that it wasn't a guy's voice.
Right.
And if ESPN did that, I am seriously going to consider switching to NBC Sports.
Also known as white people sports.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine with me. NFL and hockey, that's what I do best.
That's true. All right, so that takes us through headlines. There's a lot of bullshit stuff in there, but there's some decent stuff too. So, Matthew, what do we got next?
What do we have next? I forgot to open up that part of my email.
Oh. Well, here, let me tell you. Next
okay.
up, I want to, as you can see, I'm wearing my full Braves garb. I actually went and bought beer like this. I was very proud of myself. Granted, it was
very
through the
cool.
drive-through window.
Oh, you look great.
Oh, thank you. And yes, I'm very proud of my Braves this week. For the last probably decade or so, ever since Ted Turner sold the team to Time Warner, those cheap bastards, they have become just a ridiculously cheap, budget-constricting team. I mean, their payroll just seems to get diminished more and more and more. And I think the owners, or the GM finally talked the owners into saying, hey, listen, we've got a good nucleus here. Let me spend some money, and I will get you into the playoffs, which is free revenue for them. And they realize that. And, we have the chance to win a world championship. So what do? They go out 2 months ago and they sign B.J. Upton, the former Rays left fielder, center fielder, excuse me. And then yesterday they pulled a coup d'etat and all of a sudden traded for Justin Upton, who's considered the probably the better of the two, and he's also younger. They traded for him for basically pennies on the dollar. It was a fantastic trade. I can't believe my Braves finally pulled off a good trade, something that everybody agrees is a good move, and I'm just like flabbergasted. Upton, of course, is another outfielder, so they're going to have two Uptons in the outfield and Jason Hayward, who is probably one of the 10 most valuable players as far as an organizational standpoint in all of baseball is considered right now, because he's got 3 years left. He's only like 23 years old, and he's worth like 6 WAR a year. He's an awesome player. So our outfield is going to be stacked. I cannot wait for baseball season. After going through 2 Cowboys seasons of blowing it on the last game, of course my Braves did that to me last year too, but nonetheless, I am excited for baseball.
Me too. I think that this is a great move. The Braves are one of those teams that when they're good, it's normally good for the league. I mean, there's such a good story, getting to the winning their division. What was it, like 14, 15 years in a row?
Years, yeah.
It's a great story. I think it's great. And so I'm glad that I hope that they actually are better. But my only worry is because the Uptons, if memory serves me correctly, and I apologize for forgetting, they're both outfielders, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I think that pitching right now in baseball is much more important than hitting or defensive play. I think right now, if you have, a good rotation, it can cover up any other holes you might have. So I'd be interested to see what the Braves rotation is going to be like.
The Braves rotation actually is incredibly strong. They're 4 deep right now with a guy coming off of surgery who could be the best pitcher, and he'll be back at midseason. They're going to have a strong 5-man rotation for the second half of the year. There's talk about them winning 100 games, and it would be awesome if they do.
Excellent. Well, I would love it. I think that'd be great. All right.
By the way, fuck your Giants for winning another World Series. I just had
go Giants.
All right, so let's go into our bread and butter here, which is the NFL. We've, of course, established the Super Bowl teams. If you have been living in a cave for the last week, those are, of course, the San Francisco 49ers of Matthew's hometown or home area, and everybody's favorite Baltimore team, the Ravens. And I'm going to go ahead and say they're the favorite team in Maryland.
Well, I mean, one thing I have to say, and you probably know this, but growing up, earlier this decade, being a fan of the Niners and the Raiders, because I was a fan of both. I wanted to see 8 wins a year, and so for that to happen, I needed to cheer for 2 teams.
Absolutely.
And every time they were knocked out of the playoffs, I always had to pick a team to cheer for in the playoffs. And I loved Ray Lewis, and I always cheered for the Ravens. So I'm actually quite a big Ravens fan as well to this day.
I do like the Ravens. Well, for one, I was a huge Miami fan in the early 2000s when they were damn near a dynasty with Ken Dorsey, and they put out all those running backs. They had Ed Reed.
Ken Dorsey, who played on San Francisco for a while.
That's true, he did, and he played on the Cleveland Browns too, but nobody talks about that. But yeah, so I loved Ed Reed in college, and when he came to the pros, I mean, he's been a stud ever since he came to pros. Same with Ray Lewis, obviously, throwing the stabbing or whatnot, but that's a different story. Killed man.
What you gonna do? Sometimes it's been a long day. You've just beaten the crap out of Tom Brady for like the umpteenth time, and you just want to stab a bitch.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say sometimes Ray Lewis just gotta stab a bitch. So, well played.
Indeed, we obviously talk a little too much.
Yes. But yeah, I have liked their team. I rooted for them like crazy the year they won the Super Bowl because I hate the Giants. And I can't stress this enough, but I hate the Giants. And so when they just kicked the shit out of Kerry Collins and his stupid face, I could not have been more happy. The only thing that would have made him more happy is had my Cowboys actually won the Super Bowl, but God knows that's a pipe dream for the next decade.
I know. Oof, good luck with that one.
Yeah, shut up. So we've got about 10 minutes here to discuss how the Super Bowl. Obviously, as a Niners fan, I think you probably have some good takes on why you think the Niners are going to win, what the keys to victory are and such, and I can go ahead and take the Ravens. The Raiders, like they're going to win a game. I'll take the Ravens and just see, basically PTI ourselves against each other.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds very good. So just jump in whenever you need to. I'm going to start off, of course, with the Niners. I think that I am surprised at Kaepernick. I remember when he came in at the very beginning, I was very skeptical because I thought in a big game, who would you rather want, an Alex Smith or a Colin Kaepernick? And I said, of course, I would want Alex Smith, but coming to it now, he started to play very well, but everyone's going to be talking about the quarterback. Let's get to what's really going to win them the game. And that is their diversity on offense. Because if you look at the Packers game, Colin Kaepernick ran all over the place. And he just said, Packers, I'm going to run, stop me. And so they couldn't, and they won. And so then the next game, Atlanta, I'm sure, prepared for Colin Kaepernick to run. And he was like, you know what? I'm not going to run. I'm going to give it off to LaMichael James, to Frank Gore. I'm going to actually throw the ball really well.
Vernon Davis was wide open that whole game.
Oh, my God. He came out of nowhere. So it's like, that's the part that's the scariest about the Niners is Ravens, what are you going to defend? And you pick something, and seems like they can beat you the other way. So that's what I'm most surprised about is that they have such this big diversity. I mean, you want to go up against, a wide receiver in the end zone. Well, we got Randy Moss, who, isn't the best anymore, but he still has hands and can catch the ball occasionally. You want to run the ball? We have Frank Gore. You want the quarterback to run it? Collins does a great job at that. It's just their diversity on offense surprised me in that Atlanta game, and I was shocked that Colin Kaepernick didn't have to run to win that game, and he was able to win it with all of the other assets they have on that offense.
That is true, but the one thing that you're discounting is the fact that Baltimore has two of the smartest players on defense in the whole league, and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, like we talked about. Ray Lewis has seen everything in the NFL. He's been in the league for what, 17 years? I mean, hell, he's since he's been in the league, his son has been born and is almost in college right now. That's how long he's been in the NFL. He's seen everything. Ed Reed is the biggest ball hawk in the whole league. Colin Kaepernick tries to force something in there or makes a stupid mistake. Guess who's going to catch it? Ed Reed.
Yes.
The Ravens have forced 8 turnovers in the postseason. To put that in comparison, no other team has forced more than 4 in this postseason. And I mean, 4 teams have played as many games as they have, or 3 other teams, excuse me, and they've doubled the amount of turnovers that the other teams have put in. If San Francisco is not careful with the ball, they are not going to win that game.
I totally agree. But then let's go back to it. You want to be careful with the ball? Okay, let's hand it off to Frank Gore and the Michael James, and they'll run it all over your ass. Let's do some short passes. Get Vernon Davis involved again. That's kind of my point. It's like you don't want Colin Kaepernick to make a bunch of big throwing mistakes. He doesn't have to throw the ball that much to win the game. So that's what I've been most impressed with. I tend to lean towards you that the more experience is going to win this game, and that means that the Ravens have a very good chance of pulling it off. But I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, a lot of times in the Super Bowl, it's very one-sided, and it doesn't get very exciting. But I think this one's going to be excited from the very beginning to the very end.
I think so too. And one other factor that I think is going Baltimore's way, of course, it's worked this whole postseason, is Ray Lewis's swan song. I mean,
oh yeah,
you can't deny how motivating this is for that whole team. I mean, of course, Joe Flacco's playing for his contract.
No, not at all.
But it's a huge deal to this team. I remember thinking once the playoffs started, I said it's going to either be the Broncos or the Patriots in the Super Bowl. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Baltimore had just come off a shitty game against Cincinnati in which they lost. Granted, they played all their backups, so I'm not going to really count that. They did beat the Giants the week before that, but the 3 weeks before that, they did not look like a strong team. All of a sudden, Ray Lewis returns, and, I mean, they're this giant. They're playing well on both sides of the ball. Joe Flacco's throwing the ball downfield, which, by the way, is a big, big weakness of your Niners.
Yep,
and,
yes it is.
I mean, it's extraordinary. The only thing that worries me about the Ravens is their ability to protect Flacco. Granted, they have a Pro Bowler in Marshall Yanda at guard, but he's not going to be the one that's matching up with Aldon Smith or I guess Patrick Willis doesn't blitz, but Aldon Smith is a huge pass rushing factor for the Giants, and he has to go up against probably Justin Smith, who is probably the Niners' best player on defense.
Yeah. I agree. So if we want to go over to the Ravens side of the ball, as you kind of started to already, of course, but I'm going to start jumping on their bandwagon too to kind of give some good things about them. I agree that the emotional wave that they have been running for a while has been great, and I also think that the firing of Cam Cameron very much helped them. I mean, their offense changed after that. Caldwell is running a very good offense there. Flacco's, of course, looking great. Ray Rice and Pierce, their backup, it has been running very well. Bolden has actually started to step up and look like his Cardinals days. And so I think that their offense is very good and very well-rounded. I mean, this is going to be very interesting because it's one of those new pistol-type offenses for the Niners and a more standard offense for the Ravens. And we'll get to see kind of which one comes off with that.
That's true. But, I mean, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, John Harbaugh, 2 weeks to look at that offense. Jim Harbaugh is going to be hard-pressed to come up with new wrinkles that the Ravens have not game planned for.
I almost think that the Niners might have used up a lot of their wrinkles last week to get to this point.
I think so, because they knew that Atlanta was going to be spying Kaepernick, and that's probably why Vernon Davis was so wide open. I haven't looked at the film, but if I had to guess, a tight. Yeah, thank you for that.
Don't say that like you normally look at the film. You're not Chris Mortensen sitting in a room somewhere all day, every day, watching the game film 5 times.
You don't know me. But, I mean, just from conventional football wisdom, if a tight end's wide open, it's a linebacker's job, and if you have a mobile quarterback, usually it's a linebacker spying him. And so I would just, based off pure, I guess, guess and what I know of football, I would say that the fact that Colin Kaepernick runs so well caused Vernon Davis to be open so much. So the Ravens are going to have to figure out a way to take away both of those instead of one or the other, because Kaepernick's proved that he can burn you either way.
Yep, that's true, but Kaepernick is also very young, so I think what you said at the very beginning is right, is that if they try to leave the game up to Kaepernick to win it, they might have problems because he's young and he might try to force the ball and he might make a small mistake that would lead into, 6 points going the other way, which would in turn be a big mistake.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I think, who do you think the X factors are going to be? Go ahead and give me one for each team, and I'll do the same.
Ooh, what a great question. What a great question. I'm going to say, for the Niners, I'm going to say that it's going to be the Smiths, Alden and Jason
Justin.
on defense.
Justin.
I forgot his other name. Justin. I think it's going to be the 2 Smiths, because if you kind of watch them, they are such a big part of that defense, and if they can make it so Flacco doesn't have any time, then the Niners are going to win this pretty easily. And because they didn't get a lot of pressure last week, Matt Ryan was very comfortable in that pocket. And so if they can get the pressure and really push Flacco, then I think they have a very good chance of winning. So, and that's kind of what they do. The one Smith lines up behind the other Smith, and they kind of go at each other, and not in a gay way. They're not like humping each other, but they hump the offensive line. Players. Yeah, and then they try to throw down Joe Flacco and rape him, and that's exactly what they need Crabtree for, apparently. But I think they're going to be the X factor for the 49ers. It's the 2 of them. If they can get that pressure, Flacco needs time. And not a lot of time, but he does need time, and they can take that time away if they do a good enough job doing their job. Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. I try.
All right. My X factor for the Niners is LaMichael James. He was inactive for like the first 10 weeks of the season for some unknown reason. Apparently, Jim Harbaugh just didn't trust him.
Well, they have a plethora of running backs. I mean, they had Kendall Hunter behind Frank Gore. They had another guy who I forgot the name of. They also had Brandon Jacobs, who they ended up cutting. And then LaMichael James was kind of behind that. So.
Well, you've got to understand that Kendall Marshall, is that his name, right? No.
Kendall Hunter.
Hunter, that's right, from Oklahoma State. Kendall Hunter is a poor man's version of LaMichael James. I don't know how Harbaugh didn't realize this earlier, but LaMichael James is way more talented than Hunter is. And, I mean, have you seen that guy move? He has so much quickness. He may not have top end speed. I mean, he's still pretty fast, but that guy is like a freaking little I want to say jukebox, but that's not the word. Pinball machine. I mean,
pinball machine.
In and out, moving everywhere, and like he never stops. He's ridiculous, and he's going to be a huge X factor in this game.
LaMichael James from the University of Oregon. Yeah.
And maybe that's why Harbaugh decided to bench him. He's like, oh, you caused me to lose out on 2 Rose Bowls, you son of a bitch. Guess what? You're not active. 10 straight weeks.
That's true. That's a great one. I was shocked when I saw him play so well last week, and I think that's a great one.
Him and Gore are going to be one hell of a 1-2 punch next year.
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
my words.
I totally agree.
I am taking LaMichael James in the 6th round of next year's fantasy draft. I'm telling you that right now.
All right, I will make sure to take. I don't know if I take him in the 5th. There's still some other good players in there.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So on to the Ravens. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna take kind of your path as well, and I'm gonna go with the backup running back with whatever Pierce, who I still can't remember his first name. I think he's going to be the X factor because I think they're going to game plan enough for Ray Rice, and Pierce has kind of proven in especially the later part of the season that he can play the big back role, and he's got some good speed to him, and I think that he's going to be able to help get away from the Smiths on the 49ers defense and be able to, give Flacco either time to throw or have to keep them honest because they're going to have a run game that's going to be doing well. That doesn't mean I don't like Ray Rice. I love Ray Rice. I'm probably going to take him if I have the chance in the first round of fantasy next year.
If I get the 15th pick again, by the way, somebody's ass is getting a foot in it.
Honestly, I think next year you and I might be in 5 leagues together if you really start to break it down.
Oh, I mean. All right. So Bernard Pierce. All right, good choice.
Bernard. Yeah.
Yes. Like the Santa Claus, as Teresa pointed out.
Santa Claus was Bernard?
Yeah, the elf, the head elf. Bernard.
Oh.
And
it's been a long time since I saw the Santa Claus.
Barabbas, Barnaby, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Once my testicles dropped, I stopped watching that movie.
Yeah, and then I don't know how Kim must not like that movie because I watched it like 4 times this Christmas season.
Oh, really? See, I'm much more into the Muppets, which honestly is probably just as childish, but I love the Muppets, so it works.
Yeah,
and I'm a big Muppet Christmas Carol fan. I cry at the end of that movie half the times I watch it. And yes, you can take a man card from that.
Yeah.
And the other Christmas movie I watch is White Christmas with Bing Crosby that was made in like the 40s or the 50s or something. But it's still pretty awesome. So those are my Christmas movies.
All right, back to topics.
Okay.
All right, so my X Factor, hold on, for the Ravens is Paul Kruger. Paul Kruger is like a poor man's Justin Smith. I mean, he's a unmentioned white guy that just does everything on the field. He's their outside linebacker. He's getting a bunch of sacks this postseason and this whole year. He's all over. He is going to make some big plays. Watch for him to either come up with a huge sack, maybe a forced fumble, maybe a fumble recovery. I sound like Ruxin talking about fantasy football. Something that's going to impact the game in a huge manner. I mean, this guy is a stud. He goes unmentioned because you have Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. You have all those guys on that defense, but he is as legitimate as anybody else on that team. Watch for him to have an impactful play in the game that you're like, holy shit, that just swung the game. So that's my pick for X Factor.
That sounds very good. Well, we're going to refrain from making our official Super Bowl picks because you never know if next week we might get the urge to do another show right before the Super Bowl. So either maybe the day of could be kind of fun on the Sunday morning or maybe the Saturday before. We're going to talk about that, so we're going to refrain from making our picks. And if we don't do a show, then you can go to our blog site, hourofpowershow.wordpress.com, and we definitely will do a back and forth article like our article we did at the beginning of the season, and we'll post that up. It kind of gives our ideas for the game, and we'll make fun of each other, and it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure to go to that. It's hourofpowershow.wordpress.com.
If you can't spell that, you won't be able to read the article.
Well, yeah, that is factually correct. All right. Ooh, that was a beer. That took me a minute to say.
All right, so I believe ET News on the half hour was supposed to happen about 6 minutes ago. Did you still want to do that?
I'll run through it very quickly just so we can kind of keep our schedule going on. We have J.J. Abrams set to direct the new Star Wars, as we talked about. Sarah Palin exits Fox News Channel, and Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert cry themselves to sleep.
Okay.
IFC buys a Rooney Mara film at Sundance. Don't know. CW pilot based on Ya novel The 100. Wow, really?
It's young adult. White.
Oh, young adult novel, The 100.
Oh.
I don't know. Is that going to be like a Hunger Games type thing? I don't know. It sounds like
probably
it might be.
More like Twilight or that new movie they're coming out with. Was it?
The Secret Circle alumni goes Under the Dome, which I think Under the Dome is going to be a TV show, and Secret Circle, I think, is the new movie with witches or whatever.
I thought it was like Beautiful Creatures. I don't know. There's so much
you're right.
adult
You're right.
shit coming out that I don't even know. Oh, Warm Bodies. That's the one I was thinking.
Oh, Warm Body. Okay, that and Movie 43 look funny, so I am actually going to go see that.
I do want to go see Movie 43. That is like movie number 3 that I want to see that's out right now. I still want to see Django Unchained. No.
I want to see that too.
And Zero Dark 30.
The Hobbit.
Dude, I'll totally go see The Hobbit. I love The Hobbit. Well, I haven't seen it, but I would go see it.
Nerds.
Have you seen Les Mis?
If you say yes, then I am officially taking away your man card forever.
Yeah. You can take away my man card. I thought it was a great movie.
You would. All right.
I'm probably the straightest person that loves musicals, so I'm really not a good judge on this one. I can go off on musicals for a while about why I love them, and I can list off musicals. Oh yeah, I'm crazy. Okay, let's see here. Fox OK's J.J. Abrams Robot Cops pilot. Oh, J.J. Abrams must have a series about robot cops that Fox is going to pick up. So, J.J. Abrams, one of the busiest men in Hollywood. We have Jimmy Kimmel or Matt Damon live. So Matt Damon finally went on to the Jimmy Kimmel show, and apparently he took over the show, which I recorded, and apparently is very funny. Because I don't know if you know this, but at the end of every Jimmy Kimmel show, he said he apologizes to Matt Damon for having to bump him that night.
Yeah. And by the way, Kimmel said that the skit that went on last night took 9.5 years to film.
Okay, let's just do a couple more of these because I'm starting to get tired of it.
Yeah.
There's a Jobs first look, the movie about Steve Jobs, where Ashton Kutcher plays Steve Jobs. Looks pretty dumb. However, the writer is Aaron Sorkin, so I'll probably see it because I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan. And Rachel Nichols is going to exit ESPN, and she's going to go to CNN.
Well, hot damn.
Rachel Nichols is very good at what she does, but her mouth sometimes scares me.
Yeah,
I think it's a little too big for a human mouth.
Well, that and she has straight hand teeth, but that's besides the point.
Ooh, yeah, that too.
All right, one note that Teresa wanted me to include, and I hate the fact that I'm saying this, so go ahead and take a man card now, but actually, no, I am validating this on the fact that it's about Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis is apparently in talks or rumored to be the heroine of 50 Shades of Grey. The movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, has Theresa read 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, she cried.
No, at the end of the second one.
You cried at 50 Shades of Grey?
I think that was one of the many emotional responses that she experienced.
I was going to say, I thought it was much more of like a porno than a crying kind of thing.
There's 3 of them, apparently. I don't know. She read them when we were going to Vegas. So anyways,
nice.
If that happens, I'm only going to that movie to see Mila Kunis in a sex scene. Only way.
I would go. I have considered watching that Mila Kunis Ashton Kutcher movie, the one that was the
Justin
remake
Timberlake.
of the movie that was a month before it.
Justin Timberlake.
Okay. Oh yeah, Ashton
Kutcher
Kutcher was in the other one. Who cares? It was a remake of the same film.
I saw part of it. She did look pretty good.
I was considering going to that just because I think she's hot, and I love Ted. Well, I love Ted for many reasons, but one was Mila Kunis was hot.
That's true too. All right.
A former winner of our Hot Girl Off, which could take us into that. Yes, introducing the Hot Girl Off. So let's do that very quickly. We already talked about it. But this week it's going to be Adrian Palicki versus Laura Prepon. This one is one of those that I'm still very upset at you because Adrian Palicki got to this point by beating Yvonne Strahovski, which I'm still upset at you about. So I don't know how much I'm really going to be pushing this one, and I'll probably vote for Laura Prepon just to see a pine cone shoved up Adrian Palicki's ass.
You know, it was your fault for putting Yvonne Strahovski before Dexter came out, because I may have been more inclined to vote for her.
Oh, boo. We could always change it. You know, this is set by us.
Who was it in Dexter?
The main chick from this last season.
Yeah, just recently she was in Dexter, and she was in my favorite show,
And
Chuck.
I sent Matthew a side boob picture of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Side
I remember
boob.
All right.
Side boob. Okay, so that's the hot girl off. So if you're listening now, send in your votes. It's also up on Facebook. I think we have a vote for Adrian Palicki already.
Do we? I saw one for Casey Kane. Thank you, Marcy.
Ooh.
Race car driver.
Who's the dark-haired girl?
Where did it go? I know this is great radio right now as you look. My friend Danny Rigo wants the hot girl off to be Anna Kendrick versus Jennifer Lawrence, but he would go with Laura Prepon. So we have a vote for Laura Prepon already.
Wow, somebody
And
likes
just-
the gingers.
And just so we know, 12 people have already seen that post, so that's pretty good.
Oh well, watch out us.
I know, way to go.
Wait.
So, but we're going to be coming up with a winner before most people will get to vote. So I think we might need to change our hot girl off where we announce it at the end of the show and announce the winner at the beginning of the next show.
I think that may be a good idea.
But that's all right, because we'll just get Laura Prepon to move on and shove a pine cone pineapple up Adrian Palicki's ass.
No, we've still got 3 people here to vote.
That's true, we
and
do.
I can send out text right now. So
Oh, really? Well, because I was going to make you work for it, because we're going to move on to, we're going to move on to the Bieber of the Week, which I think you have,
Yes,
so
I
you
do.
should start looking that up.
Oh, I've already got it up. Yeah, that's what he said. Drink.
Yeah, you do.
See, I said
Can we
minute
get
40,
confirmation
get
on
drunk.
that? The Risa, can you check and make sure that he does, in fact, have it up?
Yeah, it's right here. Oh.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Ah.
I can't believe she fell for that. All right, Matthew, for this Bieber of the Week, we're going to Florida. Why Florida? Because everything stupid happens in Florida.
Yeah, we seem to often go to Florida for these.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that 90% of the stupid shit in the world happens in Florida. And maybe it's all the old people, maybe it's all the Cubans, I'm not really sure. Yes.
Maybe it's the old Cubans.
The old Cubans, yes. All right, so Matthew, what we've got going on here is we've got a man being arrested for posing as a doctor who gave silicone injections into people's asses, then sutured them up with crazy glue.
Wow, you're right. That does have a lot of ins and outs to it.
Yes, it is. This is quite the story here, actually. Sorry, posting the question on Facebook. All right, so anyways, a Florida man is facing charges of unlicensed practice of healthcare causing serious bodily damage after he injected silicone into at least 2 patients' buttocks at a motel room, according to a Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Calvin Edward Butler, also known as Tamika Butler, we'll get to that later, performed the injections at El Patio Motel dating back to June 2012. Who the hell would allow somebody to stick a needle in their ass other than some crack whore at the El Patio Motel? El Patio, that's Spanish for the patio. Alright, so anyways, the first victim, a woman, told doctors that she received injections 4 times between September and December, and then all of a sudden she noticed that her butt started hurting, she got some open sores, and so she went to the hospital. And they're like, oh dear God, and so now she's got this deformed butt, which probably looks like the backside of Oprah's ass. I'm not really sure. So anyway, she suffered these cosmetic damages, blah, blah, blah. And then the second person, this is where the story gets really good. The second victim, a man. By the way, which man gets ass injections? I'm not really sure on that one. Anyways,
yeah. Nah, he would definitely lose a man card for that.
Oh, absolutely. Nice hinting promotion, by the way. Anyways,
hey, I'm always good at that.
Yes, the second victim, a man, said he received a weekly injection from Butler between June and October 2012. So let's see, June through October is 4 months. That's about approximately 17 weeks. This guy's getting injections in his ass. What the fuck?
Wow. That's someone with either way too much money or way too much time, and either way, I don't like it.
Oh, here we go. The injections were administered in the same manner as the woman, though Butler charged only $100. He charged the woman $200, by the way. Giving a discount since they were old friends. What the?
Oh, sure, old friends, quote unquote.
Yeah. Anyways, Butler told the man he had several strippers as patients, and they were charged $400 a visit. Now all of a sudden, this guy seems like hot shit. When the man began developing open source on the injection sites, just like the woman,
of course,
and contacted Butler, Butler told him to toughen up and gave him oral antibiotics. I'm wondering what else he gave him. Yes, that was a homosexual joke. Well, only in the form of oral sex. Anyways, the sores increased in size, and the man was admitted to Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center in November with a severe infection. Doctors performed surgery on the man's buttocks. I'm sure that felt nice. Guy couldn't sit for a week. And found cultures with MRSA. I have no idea what that is. And other bacteria infections, the report said. As the man was recovering at the hospital, Butler paid him an unannounced visit, and this is the best part of the story, in December, arriving dressed as a woman. Oh, Tamika comes back to make a visit. As a woman with a wig and fur coat and several large pieces of jewelry, the report said. And to top it all off, the cherry comes when he says, the man asked Butler what he was doing here, and Butler responded, "You need to remember who the bitch in charge is." Oh.
Wow, there's just so much to that story, and it is great. Wonderful pickup on that.
Yes, and anyways, Butler said he was angry that the man sought medical attention for not apparently toughing it up and taking it orally or whatever. And he was arrested. He's like the third person to be arrested for falsely administering some sort of plastic surgery.
Wow.
So in Florida in the last 5 months. Don't move to Florida. Ever, 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 ever.
All right. Well, while you're at loving
By the way, we got a vote. Adrian,
I know. I saw. There's one vote for it so far.
Suck it. Anyways.
All right. Well, why don't we move on to the top 10 list? Now, this is a top 10 list that has already been posted on our blog site, the hourofpowershow.wordpress.com. And don't forget that if you want to send in your questions, we would love to answer your questions. We will answer any question that you have. We just want questions. Send those in to hourofpowershow@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what questions you have for us. We will literally do anything for questions. And when I say anything, I mean anything.
That's true.
So, send us in. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Hour of Power Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I believe it's Hour of Power Show as well. And WordPress, Gmail. I think I got everything. So now, Ridley, let's listen to this top 10, which is on hourofpowershow.wordpress.com.
That is correct. I posted this on Monday. This is, granted, we're a little late to the subject, but it's because we wanted to feature quality, not quantity, like ESPN, you hacks. Hacks! Alright, so anyways, we talked about Manti Te'o earlier. Obviously, he was conned by a girl that was actually a guy that may be a girl, but there was a guy involved. Two guys and a girl is actually how you described it, which I believe was a Ryan Reynolds TV show at one point.
It was two guys, a girl, and a pizza place, which was a very good show. And let's just also mention that I believe this is the cousin of former Raiders quarterback Marcus Tuiasosopo. Topo. Just throwing that out there. Because I need to get my Raiders references wherever I can, especially in the postseason since it doesn't happen. Which will be something we'll be talking about later, the possibility of Bill Callahan throwing the Super Bowl 10 years ago. But that'll be for our Super Bowl edition of this show next week.
That's true.
So, continue.
Anyways, and I just want to mention that ESPN refused to mention that he was a Raiders quarterback and instead called him a University of Washington quarterback. Just throwing that out there. Anyways,
my guess is that he probably doesn't describe himself as the Raiders quarterback.
I would highly doubt it if he did. Anyways, so Manti Te'o was duped by a girl or a guy or a girl again, and he had this girlfriend that he claimed died on September 12th when she really didn't because she didn't exist. And so, of course, that prompted us to come up with a list of the top 10 things that are more real than Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
That are more real, yes.
Yes. Number 10, Sasquatch. Because, and like,
especially in Idaho.
Absolutely. If you're in Idaho, your reaction to that sentence was probably, duh.
Mm-hmm. Because, of course, Sasquatch is real in Idaho.
Of course, I've seen them. I'm from Idaho.
I know. Most people from Idaho are about 100 years behind reality. Yeah, so it works.
Pretty much. What's this internet you think of? Anyways,
exactly.
Number 9, Scientology. Because Tom Cruise paid us to write that one. And he basically threatened the evil Lord Xenu's retribution against us.
Great Master Cruz, we apologize for our lack of faith.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry. Namaste.
Number 8, honest politicians. Matthew, do those exist?
Unless Stephen Colbert or Jon Stewart run for office, then no.
All right, good point. Especially if you're from Idaho, but we don't want to get into Idaho senators right now.
Unless you're in a Minnesota bathroom.
Oh, or in a car drunk driving. Oh, too soon? No. All right, number 7, Nickelback fans. I've been told they exist, but I've told Nickelback has people come to the concerts, but I really can't believe it. It's like a leprechaun being at the end of a rainbow. I just don't see how it's real.
I know we don't have time for this, but let me jump in with a quick story. Did you know that, going back to politics, when Andrew Jackson ran for president, he actually gave out free beer at the polling stations to help win him the election, which of course you can't do now, but maybe that's how Nickelback has fans. They just give out free beer at their concerts.
Knowing those money-grubbing whores, I highly doubt it, but it is a possibility.
Okay, continue.
Number 6, wrestling. Obviously, there's a joke that wrestling is, of course, fake.
But when we were young, it was still very real.
Right. And, of course, actually, that was more of me wanting to reference the YouTube video of the guy saying, "It's still real to me, damn it!" Who became famous on Tosh.0, of course. All right, number 5, Pamela Anderson's chest.
Wait. I thought these were real things.
Exactly. These things are still more real than Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Both of them.
That's true, because silicone is a real substance.
And my cousin did tell me, if I can touch them, they're real.
Oh, I would touch them in a second if I had the opportunity.
You may get HPV, or was it syphilis? It was something. There's something.
One of those things from her boobs.
Yeah, you never know. It may have just sprouted up. Number 4. Katherine Heigl's acting. Because I've decided in 2013, besides referencing Star Wars at any chance possible, I am going to make fun of Katherine Heigl at any chance. And this one presented a pretty good one.
That sounds pretty good. I think that's quite true as well.
All right. Number 3, the Hour of Power show's media validity.
Yeah!
Yes.
Woohoo!
Our media validity is more real than Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Think about that for a second.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, because it's awesome. Wow, Katherine Heigl is actually pretty hot. That's probably why she gets so many parts.
Yeah, her acting sucks, and she is a bitch. Number 2, Batman. Because
Batman is real.
Michael Keaton admitted it on Celebrity Jeopardy that he was Batman. So Batman is real.
Yes, he did.
And number 1 thing that is more real than Manti Te'o's girlfriend. The female orgasm. Because despite what Will Ferrell claimed in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I've been told it is a real thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been told, but it's more through rumors and speak. Like you know how many stories are kind of created by kind of back and forth communications, maybe between tribes, people talking around the fire, and this thing comes up called the female orgasm, and no one actually really believes that it exists because no one has seen it.
Chupacabra.
Exactly. Like the Loch Ness Monster, maybe. People talk about it, and some people believe that it's real, but for the most part, it's kind of generally accepted that those people are crazy.
It is true. And I'm getting...
I think that the Hour of Power's media relevance may be more practical.
Yeah. It may be more right, but it doesn't mean it's the number 1 thing. All right.
Let's move on to some would you rathers. This is fastly becoming one of my favorite parts of the show, as I found a website that has really terrible would you rathers.
Yes, you did. It is awful.
It is really awful, and I always try to do my best to take the opposite side of Ridley on most of these, and it gets harder and harder.
On this one, I want you to go first, and I want me to play devil's advocate on this one. I don't get to do it very often.
This sounds great to me. Would you rather rape a chicken or get raped by a walrus? I am easily going to go with rape a chicken. And I'm going to tell you why. And it is because I really like Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Oh,
because especially if you're going to be going into a chicken, you're going to need some lubrication. And if I'm going to need some lubrication with the chicken, it's obviously going to be some nice Frank's Red Hot sauce melted with some butter in the oven. Of course, I will cool it down before I put it on the chicken. But I'm going to have that because there's nothing that goes better with chicken than Frank's Red Hot.
Enjoy the burning in your pee hole.
I do that every day. Anyway.
Yeah, that's not just from the herpes. Anyways, you are a sick, disgusting man. First off, even a man of your size is going to make a chicken just like... And so... Like, I don't know how you even find that enjoyable. Like, I'm sure that, you don't enjoy certain times of the month, and everything just shuts down. And so if you don't like that, what is going to make you enjoy a chicken just exploding around you? There's no way that this works. No. Besides...
Well, I'm going to go into a sauna that's going to be at 100 and something degrees, and about 4 to 5 hours later, I'm going to have some really nice chicken wings.
No. First off, walruses aren't even known to be well endowed.
That is true. They're not like whales.
Yes, they're not whales. They are not donkeys. They are not horses. So, you know what? And they've got those big flappable arms, and they've got the tooth and the mustache. You could get a mustache ride. They seem very congenial. They seem like they
basically be the cutest thing that would ever rape you.
Yes, basically. I mean, it's like, other than a puppy, you'd really want a walrus raping you. As long as they didn't, like, chomp down on you with those big saber teeth. But
really?
Well, you never know when you're getting raped he may be rough, but you could hope that you get a lover, a cuddler, not a biter. Okay, let's go on to the next. Oh, yeah, Theresa, did you want to weigh in?
Oh, no, I was just looking up walrus penises. They're not as small as he was talking about.
Shut up.
But That's all right, because I believed him. That's all that matters.
We'll
So,
still cuddle
really?
afterwards, and that's all that matters.
would you rather eat a little piece of crap, and we're just going to go with human because it doesn't specify which kind of crap.
Right.
Would you rather eat a little piece of crap or pop a zit on someone's bum with your mouth?
Oh. You're up first, remember? I'm arguing with you.
Oh, really? Oh, darn. Okay. I was really going to be waiting for you. All right. I am, well, I could wait for you, but honestly, this one is easy no matter which one I take. And I am definitely going to go with popping a zit on someone's bum.
Of course.
Because I'm going to go with knowledge over the unknown. Because anything could be in the piece of crap. They could have eaten other people's crap, and it could be in their crap, which they just made us eat. Exactly. You never know what is in a piece of crap. A zit, that's honestly just, and I'm not a doctor or anything. Maybe if we had our doctor friend here,
We have a doctor friend?
forgot his name. Yeah, he did the show with us one time. John Weiss. John Weiss.
Oh, yes.
Maybe if John Weiss was here, he could tell us exactly what was in a zit that would be on someone's bum. But honestly, my guess is it's just some fluid that the body builds up, maybe some grease, all kind of mixed together.
I thought a
And
zit on
honestly,
somebody's
at
ass
least-
was a hemorrhoid.
Yeah. You're a hemorrhoid. But at least I know what it is. If I am popping this zit on this guy's ass, and it's going to shoot into the back of my mouth, as it probably will, at least I
used to
know
white
what
things
it's going to
shooting in the back of your mouth.
I know. Well, I'm used to that, but still.
Obviously.
So, 100% of the time, I am going to go with popping the zit on someone's bum because of the knowledge. Because I am not going to be ingesting what they have ingested. I'm just going to be ingesting whatever the crap a zit's made of. And honestly, that scares me a lot less.
Fair enough. Well, I am going to go with eating a small piece of poo. Why? Well, first let me drink and I'll tell you.
Okay. And you might need that extra second or two to come up with a good reason why.
Oh, no. First off, you will get absolutely none, no nutritional value out of zit cream. Whatever it is. Zit puffs.
We'll just call it Zitcum.
Zitcum, yes.
For our purposes.
Zitcum and Kismet. It's like the same thing. It's fake. Anyways, you will not get any nutritional value from Zitcum, but there is the possibility that you will get some unfinished fiber, maybe some corn, something to
Yes.
nutritionally benefit your body out of eating a piece of poo. Maybe hepatitis B? Could be. Could it be a piece of corn?
Could be.
Who knows?
But I thought that's what poo was what was left over after the body took all of the nutrients from the food that you ingest.
Your body does not always take all the nutrients.
Oh, okay.
Hence, you shitting out pieces of corn. Come
I
on,
thought
Matthew.
corn was just
I
didn't
know that
have.
your brother shit out pieces of corn. I assume you have to.
I have seen it as well.
Yeah, we've both seen it. It's disgusting.
It is pretty disgusting.
All right.
All right. I
last
think
one.
we're getting up to a minute 106, so that should probably be the last one here.
All right.
But I just have to say that there are some great ones coming up, and perhaps next week we might do the Would You Rather eat a pube sandwich or drink a vomit milkshake.
Oh.
So just
just
to
threw
whet
up
your
in my mouth.
appetite for next week, that could come up as one of our Would You Rathers. All right, so we're going to go in now to our second to last thing, which is going to be deciding the hot girl off. We have one vote for Adrian Policki already, and we have one for Laura Prepon. So we're kind of tied right now from our Facebook voters. There's three of us on the call. Honey, are you awake? Nope, she is already asleep, and it's 8 o'clock. Just throwing that out there.
Fantastic.
But So she's not going to be a vote. So we have 3 votes. So we are going to come away with the winner. And honestly, I'm just going to step right out there. I'm going to leave it up to the 2 of you, even though I know which way you're going to go now. But I'm going to take Laura Prepon because I am upset at Adrienne Palicki. Let me look up a picture of her just to be safe.
That's not a good reason.
Adrienne Palicki. See, I can't even spell it.
It's Palicki.
You're Palicki.
You do realize she was in Son of the Beach, right? Or Son of the Beach?
That was a good show. Okay. Now that I'm actually... Wow, she was a blonde and a brunette. Interesting.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think I know easily where the 2 of you are going to go. Dude! And I'm looking through Google Images of Adrienne Palicki, and a picture of Chris Pine comes up. Were they romantically involved at some point?
Not
the
checked
recent
your Wikipedia page. I have no idea.
Well, I'm assuming the Riso reads like, Entertainment Weekly kind of magazines and all.
She doesn't know. It didn't come up in Cosmo.
It doesn't. Oh, yeah, she was going to be Wonder Woman. Oh, I wish they would have made that show. I would have.
You and me both, sir. You and me both.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to go with Laura Prepon out of duty
Principal.
to Yvonne Strahovski. Let's just say she's in a personal bank that I keep for myself.
Nice job, comrade.
Exactly. Cheers to you. But I think I know where both you're going, and honestly, I'm really not that upset about it. So, she's going to be in the new G.I. Joe, too.
Yes, she is. So
if that movie ever comes out. I think it was finished about 1.5 years ago, but it just still hasn't come out yet.
Matthew, I want to congratulate you on being the first guy ever to have his wiener think this way and his brain think this way. Congratulations.
I let the wiener brain do a lot of my thinking for me, but sometimes, especially when I'm drunk, and I know that it gets drunker quicker than my other brain does, I need to think with my real brain. So there we go.
Fair enough, but both of us are going with Palicki, and she was hitting me, telling me that I'm going with Palicki, as if it was a question, but nonetheless.
I am not too upset, but let's just say that she's going to go up against the winner of Mika Kelly and Blake Lively. So she's going to have quite the next round.
She will have one hell of a...
Oh, she's going to get past it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for her.
Who's Mika Kelly?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Taylor Swift and Mika Kelly.
Blake Lively would have had a better shot.
Yeah, Blake Lively would have had a better shot. But that'll be the next round. So let's just run through this really quick. So our next one's going to be Taylor Swift versus Minka Kelly. After that's going to be Blake Lively versus Anna Paquin. After that will be Piper Perabo versus Vanessa Marcel. Then it's going to be Colby Smulders versus Kelly Kuko.
Hold on. Piper Perabo, by the way, is nude in Looper.
Did Minka Kelly play Fargo?
Nice.
Sure. I don't know.
Who did she?
Anyways, I just had to throw that
Colby Smulders versus Kelly Kuko. And then there's Kate Middleton versus Rachel McAdams. So that's going to be our next, few months of the hot girl off. And then we'll come up with new ones, and then we will basically do it again. Because I don't even remember who our last winner was.
I think...
I know... I know we've done 3, and I know the first 2 was Megan Fox and Elijah Dushku, but I don't remember who the third winner was.
I want to say Blake Lively, but maybe not.
No, because I don't think I would have put her in here if she was a winner.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. What? We may have to go to the archives. All right. Anyways, we are way over time.
Way over time. This is going to be the hour and 10-minute hour at least.
I know. We've gone through like 16 beers now. We're on minute 73, by the way. Okay.
Well, maybe after this, we just need to stay on the phone and do the Century Club.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Let's get on to one of the best part. This is what the people ask for every week. It's the streak for the cash. So,
And
well,
every time
you're going
I
to
think
start
it's
this
me
week.
taking my clothes off.
Well, of course they ask for that, but that's just because honestly you're a little too ripped for your own good. All right, we're gonna go to the Africa Cup of Nations 2013 Group D, Rustenburg, South Africa. What will be the match result? Will it be Tunisia win, draw, or lose by 1, or the Ivory Coast win by 2 goals?
Ivory is
This is
obviously more valuable, duh. And yes, that's my blonde girl answer to that question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, we are going to college basketball. We got number 14, Ohio State at Penn State. What will be the game result? Ohio State wins by 15 points or more, or any other result. 15, Matthew, 15. Come to Penn State.
Are you looking at Saturday?
Yeah.
I have Syracuse Villanova next on mine.
Sorry, I dropped too low. Anyways, go ahead and answer that question.
No, that's fine. Let me just find the Penn State question.
It's right below it.
Ohio. Okay, yes. Okay. All right. So then there we go. All right. I'm going to definitely go with Penn State. That's too many points. I know that Penn State's not as good as Ohio State, but 15 points at the end of a game in a college basketball league that is not scoring as many points. The average points, I believe, if I heard correctly this morning, is about 58 points for a college basketball game. I'm going to take Penn State to cover the 15 points. So then I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you to Villanova, where Syracuse's winning margin or Villanova's 3 points made are going to be a higher total. Which do you think?
Nova's on a down year. Syracuse, number 3 team in the country. How they haven't been number 1 yet, that shows just how bad they have been, actually, because number 1 teams have not fared well this year. Anyways, they still will trounce Villanova. Trounce them, and Villanova will not make more than 8 threes. Therefore, Syracuse wins. So.
Yeah, they will.
All right, Matthew, we are going, to the Africa Cup of Nations 2013. I knew you were so excited for this. It's Group D, by the way, your favorite. We've got Rustenburg, South Africa, versus South Africa. What will the match result be? We've got Togo win or draw, or Algeria win.
We prefer to pronounce it Togo. But I'm going to definitely take Algeria on this one. I think the Togos have already left the building, and they're not going to be there for the game. They're not going to be able to win, nor are they going to be able to draw. Let's go back to college basketball, if you can just keep it there. And what will be the game results? Will West Virginia win or a single-digit loss, or will Oklahoma State win by double digits?
Oklahoma State's a good team, but they're not that great of a team. West Virginia is really good under Bob Huggins. Not great, but they will at least make this a close game. They will lose by single digits.
Sounds good.
All right, Matthew, luckily for you, we're staying in college basketball. Which side will record the higher total? Maryland, free throws made or tie, versus number 1 Duke, which they won't be at the end of the week, winning margin. Remember, Duke just got beat by 27.
That's true, but I think that was a fluke. Every team can have an off night. I'm going to definitely take Duke on this one and the winning margin. Let's stay in college basketball, as we're going to for pretty much the rest of this time.
Thank God.
And let's take you to Ohio, where the Kansas State, same thing. Kansas State Wildcats are going to be taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. Who will win that matchup? Kansas State is ranked number 11.
Iowa State, although 13-5, is not going to win this matchup. K-State all the way. Who will win this matchup, Matthew? We've got number 12, Minnesota Golden Gophers, by the way, on the losing streak, versus the Wisconsin Badgers that just beat Indiana a couple weeks ago.
I'm going to go with the upset here, and I'm going to go with the Wisconsin Badgers. The Wisconsin Badgers. Okay, moving on. It's still in basketball. college basketball, that is. It's Alabama Crimson Tide, who is coming off a victory in football against the Tennessee Volunteers, who are coming off another terrible year in football. Who will win this matchup in the basketball ranks? Will it be Alabama or Tennessee?
Sadly, both of these SEC basketball teams suck a big one. Tennessee used to be good, but not anymore. Alabama, unfortunately, all the way. All right,
Alabama.
Matthew, staying in college basketball, who will win this matchup? We've got the Northwestern Wildcats versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Brains over bronze in this one, my friend. Brains over brawn. The Northwestern Wildcats will come away with this one easily. Let's keep it in college basketball. What will be the game result? Will Kansas win by 15 points over Oklahoma? Or will there be any other result? Wow, there's a lot of these tonight.
Blake Griffin just whispered in my ear. He said Kansas State will not win by 15 or more. Oklahoma in a close game.
Yeah, that was the dead Don Knotts who just whispered in your ear.
Oh, damn it. I get those two confused. Staying in college basketball, lucky for you, we've got the shithole game of the week. Western Kentucky at Middle Tennessee. What will the game result be?
Oh, dear God. How have 77% of people already picked any other result? I am definitely going with Middle Tennessee. They're a little upset that they are in a sandwich right now with Upper and Lower Tennessee, and they're going to be trying to come out of that. So it's easily going to be Middle Tennessee. All right. Staying in college basketball, it's going to be on ESPNU tomorrow night. We have Vanderbilt at number 22, Missouri. What will be the game result? Will Missouri win by 15 points, or will there be any other result?
Little known fact, Vanderbilt used to have a really good women's basketball team. Less known fact, that does not translate to men's basketball. Missouri wins by 15 or more. You like that? Yeah. All right. No. Continuing on, Matthew. Still more college basketball because, goddammit, there's a lot of games.
No, it's not. Go up one.
Oh, shit. We're in your league. We are in your league. We have found you, the Golden Messiah. Who will win this matchup, Matthew? The Toronto Maple Leafs or the New York Rangers?
Rangers have been struggling at the beginning of the year with the pickup of Rick Nash, with the pickup of a few other people. I think Brad Richards is there too. They are a team that have a lot of new personnel on their team, and so it's going to be harder for them to get going, especially in the short season. I'm going to pick the Rangers to win this game because even though they've had a slow start, Henrik Lundqvist is going to be able to carry them in goal. Damn, I love hockey. All right, let's move back to college basketball since nobody cares about hockey except for me. We're going to go to Arizona, where USC is going to be at number 6 Arizona. And what will be the game results? Arizona wins by 15 points, or will there be any other results?
Arizona just had a disappointing loss. They are not going to come into USC unmotivated, and Arizona is going to blow them out. Fuck USC.
Fuck USC.
Matthew, we're going to drink?
I thought I just did.
Yeah, maybe. And we're going to the NBA now. Ooh, big change of pace here for us. Matthew, who's going to win? The Minnesota Timberwolves versus your Charlotte Bobcats.
I'm going to have to go with the one with the better record right here. I think Minnesota will pull it off. Let's stay in the NBA, and let's go to Texas. Fuck Texas. But the Brooklyn Nets are going to go there, and they're going to play against the Houston Rockets. Who is going to win that matchup?
Jeremy Linsanity will. Actually, no. That is not true. Brooke Lopez has been dominating the league ever since he's come back from injury. Look for the Brooklyn Nets to win this game, and yeah, we just reset. Anyways, Brooklyn Nets win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Holy shit, we have a lot of streak for the cash this week. Right,
dude, I know. Like, we try to go quick through these, but holy crap, this is taking us a long time.
Matthew, luckily for you, we're staying with hockey. And by staying, I mean going back to. Who will win this matchup? We've got the St. Louis Blues against my Dallas Stars. And by mine, I mean I like Dallas.
Not yours. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Dallas Stars are a little bit too old of a team that are going to make any kind of push in the playoffs this year. St. Louis Blues are young. They've got 2 great goaltenders, and they are going to be winning a lot of games this year. They were my number 1 pick. If you go to hourofpower.wordpress.com, you will see that they are my pick as the number 1 super awesome team.
It's true.
League of super awesomeness. St. Louis Blues are it, so I'm going to definitely take them. Let's go back to college basketball for you as we try to move this along quickly for everyone who is looking to end the Hour of Power. We're going to go number 8, Florida against Mississippi State. What will be the game result? Will Florida win by 20 points, or will there be another result?
Dying.
All right, Matthew, we are going
Who's dying?
Teresa is. 20 points is too much. You cannot give 20 points. Not in college basketball. Not against Mississippi State. You want to know why?
Why?
Nobody knows why. But you just don't
The
give
Shadow
20 points. You got to go with any other result.
Shadow knows that.
All right, Matthew. We are going to MMA. Oh, your specialty. We've got the UFC on Fox. We've got Glover Teixeira versus Quentin Jackson. Isn't that a Rampage? Rampage!
I think so.
That's,
Rampage Jackson.
Who is he in 18?
He was Mr. T.
Yeah, well, duh.
Good calling him.
Like, what was the character's name? I can't
Mom?
remember.
Duh.
All right.
Oh, it's holy crap. B.A. Baracus.
That's it. You nailed it. All right, here we go. What will the fight result be?
I love the A team.
Glover Teixeira wins by KO, knockout, or submission, or any other result. Wow, not favorite.
Gonna go with B.A. Baracus on this one, and I don't care if I'm the only one.
Baracus.
Let's go to the NBA, where you can pick against the Indiana Pacers, who are visiting the poorly named Utah Jazz. Utah, who does not allow much music.
No, nor beer.
Oh.
You know what? The Jazz have been playing pretty well this year. They have a good home field advantage, and by home field I mean home court. Even though they're favored to lose, I hate to say this, but Jazz.
All
right.
right.
Who will win this matchup, Matthew? And we're staying in the NBA. We've got the Los Angeles Clippers at your Portland Trailblazers.
Hi, Portland Trailblazers. The Los Angeles Clippers have really taken over Los Angeles and have done a great job this year. Blake Griffin has really revitalized that franchise, and they're going to be pretty close to unstoppable when it comes to the playoffs. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, Ridley, can you match it in the NHL? Can you pick the winner between 2 Canadian powerhouses? And by powerhouses, I mean 2 teams that have been struggling quite a bit this year. The Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames.
Did you say Edmonton?
Edmonton? Yes, I did.
Well, considering Calgary hasn't won a game yet, they're going to win one eventually. Calgary Flames.
Calgary Flames.
Calgary
Mika
Flames.
Soft.
All right, Matthew, we're going back to the UFC because I know you love it. We've got Demetrius Johnson versus John Dodson. What will the fight result be? Johnson wins by decision or any other result?
I'm going to take Quentin Rampage Jackson to win this match. He's going to come out of nowhere and beat the crap out of everyone.
You realize this is not wrestling, right?
Well, yes, of course.
Okay.
But so then I'm just going to take any other result. Okay, back to the NHL for the little Ridley Meister. Who is going to win this matchup? The Nashville Predators, who have gotten off to a slow start, or will it be the Anaheim Ducks, who were not expected to do very well, but have actually won 2 games in a row? Very surprising to everyone in the NHL. Who will win this matchup?
Ducks. 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 Ducks.
Quack.
Ducks.
Quack.
Ducks.
Quack.
Ducks.
Quack.
Ducks. All right, I think we got that
Watch
one
the
settled.
movie, won't you
All right,
bastard?
Matthew, we're going back to college basketball because it is your favorite besides MMA.
Oh, of course it is.
First off, drink.
Okay.
And Teresa wants to kill herself. What will the game result be? We've got, BYU. We've got the Mormons. Yes, the correct answer was the Mormons. Wins,
I thought you were going to say one shining moment. One shining moment. The stars.
BYU wins by double digits, or Portland, your University of Portland, wins or single-digit loss.
I think you cannot win by double digits easily in college basketball. Portland will lose, but only by single digits.
And they don't have the gym anymore.
We are incredibly over time. We are getting close to the hour and a half of Power. But we want to thank you all for listening. We have loved doing this. Please send your emails to hourofpowershow@gmail.com. Friend us on Facebook, Hour of Power Show. Find us on Twitter with the same name. Find us on Facebook if you know who we are. And if you don't, I'll probably still friend you if you find me.
Friendly you.
And by the way, just give us credit for, what did we do? We chugged a beer and then drank for 89 straight minutes. Neither one of us peed. If nothing else, that's worth following us on Twitter for.
Exactly. And if you're friends with Lindsay Bergvall on Facebook, she just put up a very nice-looking boudoir picture. So you might want to check that out as well. So, for the Risa, for Ridley, for all of the NFL who we talk about a lot, for all of the crazy people who are on our Would You Rathers, for the walrus that Ridley's going to be raped by, for the chicken that I chose to rape, we would like to thank you all for listening. We hope that you enjoyed yourself. We want you to come back, tell your friends. Hey, who knows? Maybe next week I could be happy about the amount of downloads we had again. So enjoy your week. We might do a Super Bowl edition. If not, we'll be back the week after the Super Bowl.
Check out our picks if we do not broadcast.
And remember, please remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I think of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
That's right.
Peace out.
Let's go kill Britain.
Kill Britain.
Good night.